Welcome to the 2024 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships from hot and toasty Emporia, Kansas. Thanks to Gatekeeper Media and Ace Run Pro for bringing us coverage of this PDGA Major. It's Grant Zellner and Jennifer Allen. Round 3 action. Jennifer, with today's action, we go over the halfway mark in this marathon of a major.
Yeah, it's been a long week so far. Now the heat and humidity is back, and so is the wind. So it feels like Kansas.
Ohn Scoggins opening up a pretty comfortable lead after round number 2. We'll see if anyone can make a run at Ohn from Swope Park. Hole number 1, 335 feet, a pretty straightforward opening hole here.
Yeah, today we now have a very strong right to left wind that was not present on the very first day. So all of us are going to have to kind of play the course today with some adjustments because the wind is playing considerably different. So OB road there to the left, as well as the one that goes through the middle of the park on the right side.
Jen, the first day was calm, as you mentioned. The second day, the wind began to increase, and people were talking about how the wind kept the heat off. Yesterday, the wind to me was like standing in front of a hot air dryer. It just didn't really seem to help all that much.
All I know is I was very thankful it was windy.
Yeah.
Because if it would have been this hot and humid without the wind, I think we would have had a lot of trouble. Stephanie and Ohn getting out there to the middle, nice and safe. You can see the wind blowing in the parking lot. Canopies did not blow away, but it's windy. So this makes it pretty difficult for the lefty. The plate of the disc is going to be at an angle that it could take it over there to the street. Luckily, she keeps that inside angle down to where it just pushes it down right to the middle. So day 1, I went down the gut. Today, I'm going to go around the outside. I did not practice this because we didn't have wind during practice days. So I'm trying to decide which disc, which gap I would like to hit. And right around that little bush. It looked like I hit the bush from the...
Just hit that thicker clover-like grass as well.
This grass is so thick. With all the rain, I don't think the Parks and Rec has had any time to... get out here and mow. So it's definitely, unfortunately, leaving a little bit on that comeback. And maybe that made Sandi kind of go a little bit softer, but I think really the tailwind is what sucked Sandi's down. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, no big deal. It's windy, it's fine. Like, she's absolutely amazing. I was requesting a Zuka rollback. Roll it back on. Unbelievable. One of the best putters in the world. She had to have been like 80 out.
Easily.
I am laying up. I am not attempting that. So just to make that clear, there's no way. So unfortunately, out here with these winds, they're very gusty. So sometimes when you expect the wind to do what it's supposed to do to the disc, it doesn't. And those little pockets of very strong wind. Awesome save by Stephanie. And Sandi is going to tap in for the bogey.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. It's a new putter.
Destroyer putter.
And just like that, the lead is 10 in the FP40 division. Hole number 2 listed at 273 feet over some OB.
Yep, so OB road, this makes this an island. So if you do not stay on that patch of grass there, you see a drop zone back over there on the left, which is a pretty difficult drop zone. It plays the whole length of this peninsula. Do not try to attack this with the ace too aggressively because that road is right there. So again, really strong right to left wind, and you can't get it up too high for those branches. So you want to try to play the low skip, but this wind can lift it up.
Thank you.
you know, just in case the first putt was too much, we're going to leave ourselves with no putt.
Okay, that's great.
So it's pretty clear right now that Ohn was ready to play today, which she always is.
Yeah. Yep.
Stephanie Vincent carries that just a little bit long. We'll have a similar putt as she did on hole number 1, this time though for the bird. Here you are.
So trying to stay out of the wind and come in underneath those branches with my Firebird. Just didn't get the skip, the second skip that I needed. This is a very difficult lefty hole because it's going to pull their stable disc, are going to pull them right back. So unfortunately, she was hoping that crosswind was going to push it over, keep her safe, but Sandi is going to go to the drop zone. And that's not an easy lefty line either.
No, it's not.
So we are very thankful that that did not roll OB. Because it's such a great bid. Unfortunately, the tops of these baskets are like trampolines. Puts her probably 18 feet. Stephanie out near circle's edge. And again, it's just, you hate to get them too high in the wind because it could, no telling where it's going to go.
They could go anywhere. They could end up in Oklahoma.
Yeah, no telling where it's going to go. But you got to keep them high enough to get them in. So putting in the wind is really difficult out here in the wide open.
Sandi in for the double.
Ricky, distance driver in hand. What? What just happened? What just happened? Wysocki blows up the basket on the 16. I don't know what that is, but it definitely bombs.
Here we are at the third, listed at 265 feet, going around the ball field.
Yep, so we have several of these shots that are about 260, 280 that go to the right around the fence, which inside that park is OB, as well as everything right the gravel road to the left and right behind the basket is OB that comes in very tight. We have been seeing some hyzers over the ball field with the righty backhand throws. Today with this huge crosswind, that's a very, very risky shot because it can easily continue along to the road. Ohn gets this really flat, which means it's going to continue to travel very far. So unfortunately, that's going to skip long. I went long with the putter the first day, so I dropped to a rock just trying to keep it low, but the wind smashed it down. Still safe though, so I'm one stroke better.
Sure, hey. Just one bite at a time. Try to eat that elephant and catch up with Ohn.
Yeah, and Stephanie gets it a little bit higher, but it still pushes it down. So very tricky shot. You really want to throw the right to left shot, but not really the play here. So lefty has a little better attack at it. Gonna get her a putt. Long bid, but she's an incredible putter. I think I was at 130 feet.
Tricky little upshot here.
130 feet was like my max jump putt.
Okay.
Yay, yay, yay. 130 jump putt. Get in.
Such a smooth approach. Little putt approach.
I like that. Really gauged the wind very well there.
Yeah, she's got that release that it looks like she's played catch on the beach forever. Ohn not really going for the par save. Just going to lay it up and not add any other strokes.
Go ahead.
We've seen some pretty incredible putting from this foursome over the course of days 1 and 2. It's not surprising to see everybody peppering the basket, even with the challenge of the wind.
Like dance or something. It's a hot day. Yeah.
Over to the fourth. Very straightforward, this one at 250 feet.
Yeah, we have the OB again that comes in really close behind the basket. This one might be closer to circle's edge or 25 feet or so, but 250 feet on the dot, OB there on the left. Again, this is one of the last holes with a huge right to left wind. So you have to be careful not to expose too much of the underside of the disc or it's going to push it straight to the OB road. So I dropped down to a Cayman to try to keep it a little lower direct. Again, the wind is just pushing these a little.
Oh.
I was wondering how I stayed in.
Now you know.
Wow. Okay, there's my lucky shot of the day. Wow.
Now
I thought
you
it was
know.
out for sure. Dang, that's so cool.
Stephanie making the correction here.
So she had, remember, put it at 249 day one, so she went for the 250, and unfortunately that gave her a little bit of a skip. Had a pretty good ride there, rode most of the way. Ohn going a little higher, which is kind of risky. Exposing a lot of the plate, but drops it down inside circle. That looked like it was.
I didn't need to do anything.
But it looked like it was in, Sandy.
What a great looking putt Sandy has.
Yeah, it's very clean. Sandy and Stephanie both.
Tricky there with the crosswind.
Nice tailwind putt. That's, I mean, with this strong of a wind, the tailwind putt is something that you're going to try to set yourself up for today. I used to like a headwind putt. Now I'm like, no way. Or it was just too strong today. And you can tell it's kind of settled down right here for the moment. Like there was definitely moments that it was a little calmer. And then all of a sudden it was blowing us over.
35, 40 mile an hour gusts.
I don't know
Maybe
if it
not
got
quite
to
that bad.
Yeah, probably 20 to 25.
No, the bathroom? Oh, maybe, yeah.
And to the fifth. Wrapping around to the left this time. 315 feet.
380 something feet. 315 is not accurate. You're going to go all the way around here, basket tucked back in the shadows. See that OB to the left that wraps the entire tree line. So all around this park, that tree line is OB. And again, we're talking 10 feet behind the basket. So you have to be very careful on those putts and approaches. Huge right to left. Throwing it out into the wind, which is going to get it to carry just a little bit further. At this point, we are shade golfing. Masters golf is shade golf,
That's right.
Like this is
just hunt the shade right down the fairway. Is this a hole that was altered because at all?
This is actually one of the real holes for the course.
I thought maybe they lengthened this one to try to make up for the fact they had to shorten several of the others due to flooding.
Not think anything was lengthened this week. Just the opposite.
Just wondering.
Just the opposite. It was a good thought. No, everything was shortened. Stephanie and Ohn go into the shade. Again, another difficult hole for the lefty with a huge crosswind. I mean, that's putting a lot on a challenging shot here. So Sandi, unfortunately, lane 2 to approach in.
Ohn trying to go from shady spot to shady spot.
That's right.
Mission accomplished.
I'm supposed to ask you for commentary. How long have you been going to pig?
Okay, so the answer was several years.
Okay.
But she did still have that red champion rock that we used to see so much. But she, I think, is really liking that more stability to trust the hyzer, that she loves to throw that hyzer so much. Trying to really give it height because of the huge tailwind.
Dang it.
Very unfortunate. I was so mad at myself. I was like, man, if I would have known it was going to roll, I would just laid it up because you can see the wind really picking up right here. So the really strong winds, and we're getting pretty hot at this point. This is hole 5. Remember, we stood out here for about an hour before our the round started. So we've been in the heat now for probably closer to 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Temperatures were in the mid-90s on day 3.
And I would guess the humidity was probably at least mid-70s, if I had to guess. It was very humid.
So we're talking easily triple-digit heat index. And this was the hottest day, at least forecasted, for the event. So
we're survival mode right now.
We're through 54 holes.
It is going to be an exciting championship Sunday.
Evelina with what might have been the single best drive in the division.
Evelina has been so good at throwing those direct lines.
2024 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell winner, Evelina Zellner.
to the 6th, listed at 315 feet. We're going over the creek here.
Yeah, very difficult shot because this hole that we have to throw through is very tight. You have to be accurate and get all the way up almost to that top shelf because below that is OB. So you can land on the land and be OB there. So you can see that OB does come into play along the backside, left side as well. So something that goes straight, maybe finishes to the right a little bit. Ohn parked this day one, trying to get the same line.
Oh, he's about to park that one.
She knew.
Ohn providing her own commentary there.
I changed disc and the wind, I don't know, maybe it just lifted.
It's okay, we'll get there.
We have, again, incredible few spectators that are watching with us, and they agreed. We actually didn't even ask them, but they went out to spot for us. So Stephanie's pulling over. So far we're thinking 2 of us to the drop zone. Ohn almost parked. This probably does set up a little bit better for the lefty, just a little short. She's catching up right before the edge, and I think it probably hit safe but rolled back. So this is the drop zone. It's 250, but very difficult because it's low branches there and very thick grass. So small window to try to get your disc to go through, but you can't be too aggressive because, again, OB is right there. So I ended up staying on land safe, but just kind of behind all this stuff. So I don't know if I want to go around on the right or between these 2 trees. I decided to go between them.
Okay. That's a choice.
But I didn't think about this really tall grass. I forgot I was short. Ohn just laying up, pretty smart. Long bid for bogey there from Steph.
A little reprieve from the wind here, it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of weird back and forth. I mean, because it was so windy on the previous hole. But we are kind of tucked down in like a little bowl area. We're down the hill, surrounded by trees. This is the most shady part of the course. So we are getting a little bit of a relief from the heat, but not the humidity. And we are trying to drink tons and tons of water. But unfortunately, maybe the heat getting to the girls. Those are a couple of double bogeys by Stephanie and Sandi.
So the 7th listed at 325 feet. This one just a little bit uphill.
Uphill, and again, the road comes into play. So lots of OB on every single hole. The main thing is trying to get around this big tree branch that hangs down. Very difficult to approach the basket from underneath that tree. You can go right or left and try to get that open look at the basket. So this sets up very well for the forehand shot, but Ohn needing a little more distance. Luckily, she was short enough in front of that tree that she does not hit it. And she's going to go over there on the right side, and that's an open look and a closer look at the basket. I thought I had the height and distance to get around, but again, just catching the front side of that tree. Maybe next time.
A little wider.
Yeah, this is one of those holes I really want to get.
Different wind.
Such a cool golf shot. The wind actually is now in our favor going the other direction. Stephanie with a great placement shot. We don't have, there's a lot of short holes that we're playing on these courses, so this is kind of one of the placement shot holes. And with that, wind has now, again, shifted. So as a lefty, Sandi's disc carrying much further than they have been. So she's going to go long OB. And I can promise you at this point it's very hot. Going a little long.
Going to a knee here, trying to get out from under.
Yeah, and the wind just keeps it up and then pushes it down. It's just kind of doing whatever it wants here. So split screen, we're hot.
Wow.
Everyone's going. At this point, we're possibly getting delirious or just trying to hurry. I don't know.
Golf, nobody knew you were both going at the same time.
And it kind of feels like a casual day, but we did not see Ohn down there. And it was probably Stephanie, but that's fine. Ohn was ready. Neither of them saw each other. So it did not affect either one's putt.
It's amazing that it was almost synced up.
It was
so funny.
And the fact that our amazing camera crew, Ace One Pro, caught both of them perfectly is also incredible. So this is stuff that we have not been seeing from Sandi. Sandi made every single putt the day before. So she's from Canada. Yeah. She is not used to this heat, and it's getting to her, as well as it is all of us. But I think, some of us are a little more used to the heat. And look how thick this grass is, right? So the heat is just coming out of this grass, and we're about to get into an area on the course that for some reason there's a lot of rock, and it's just like a heater. So Sandi adding up some really big numbers that we did not expect to see.
To the 8th, listed at 372, going back downhill now.
Yeah, they list this as a par 4, which is extremely soft, but makes it a fun albatross run or something for us maybe. Definitely one that we know that we must get the 3, because this is a very short par 4. Very open. Miss the one little dead branch up at the top, and don't skip long OB. That's pretty much it.
Is the wind helping or hurting today?
At this hole, we still have a pretty strong right to left. So depending on how you play it, should be pushing Sandi's down as a lefty. But if we play that hyzer route, it's going to push ours to the left, as I show. So I exposed the bottom side of that disc, and guess what? You go to the left.
You're over there. Did you nick that branch as it went by?
Maybe, but I had hit it multiple times in practice, so I knew that it would typically just drop you straight to the ground.
Right, okay.
And it's such a dead branch in the shadows that you don't see it, but it's right in the line that I want to attack. Sandi getting a beautiful drive, running for the shade.
That's right.
Stephanie again with her beautiful approach putt. And back over by the previous tee pad.
No problem there.
No problem at all.
Ohn agrees.
Good. Well, I got something right for a change.
Ohn going a little long. We got another. Sandi's putting in as well. Everyone again. And at the moment, as a player, I can say I didn't feel like we were all kind of rushing, but watching this back, you can tell we're hot, we're tired, and I don't think we're thinking quite as clearly. You can really look at Ohn. Like, you don't see her on whole
The body language is just sort of
dragging like that very often. So we're just trying to be strong and push through. But you can definitely, looking back at this, see that we're hot and tired. Sandi really moving slow there. But we have one more hole in the shadows.
Visit quirkygoodies.com today. We have over 100 fun, unique disc golf tees along with hats, stickers, metal wall art, and much more. Use code PDGA20 for 20% off.
Here we are at the 9th, still in the shade, 300 feet. This is kind of a neat looking change of pace.
Yeah, we like the shade, but very difficult hole. Everything you see to the left is OB. So want to really even just try to land right here in the open. If you can keep it up and miss everything and get past that last row of trees, incredible drive, but very difficult to do.
Tricky little shot here.
This one definitely feels more of a par 4 to us than the previous hole.
What's the wind doing here? Is it coming up the notch?
No, it's again pushing left to right, as you can see. And lifting, it's coming through the trees and maybe up the hill from the creek, and really lifted both Ohn's and mine. I can't remember if it lifts everyone or not.
Stephanie Vincent's.
And hers does lift a little bit as well, but unfortunately catches a branch. She is able to stay safe. It did not roll. Shout out to Pat down there, our PDGA Marshal, who came out and spotted this hole for us every day. Sandi sneaking through that left side. Both of us get kicked over to the right. So hoping that we could have kicked all the way out. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I don't even know if it's possible, but this is also one of those areas, kind of look for the 3-leaf, you know?
Oh, that's true, yeah. Leaves a 3, let it be. Actually heard a big group yesterday after the round, all of them comparing their poison ivy.
I have a little dot. It has not spread. I'm trying not to touch it. I'm pretty sure this is where I got it.
I'm not sure who won in the group that I was talking to yesterday, but there were a couple of pretty good candidates.
Yeah. So tricky spot. Her stance is kind of on some rocks. So trying to get good footing and keep a great angle, and she does. It's a beautiful out.
Well done there.
And she had the straight line, but just yeah, yours are straighter than ours on. So Sandi and I tucked way over there, and yes, you never saw that. It is stuck up in the branch.
Okay.
Somehow, very thin branch. I do not know how she got that to stay. But, Sandi was my doubles partner, so we're pretty good friends now. So I'm going to try to knock it out for her.
Oh, nice of you.
Take care of that guy next time.
Good solid bid there.
To get my friend's disc from the tree.
It's really nice of you there.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work. Stephanie pitching out. So she is line 3.
There you go. Whoa.
Found a long stick.
Okay.
And she's down.
Okay.
Back to golf.
Back to golf. Long bid here. Got the height initially. Drops.
Yeah, that was looking really good.
Giving it all she got, matey.
You can tell. You guys are laboring a little bit, just trying to give things a chance. And now all of a sudden, a little bit still.
Yeah. And that was exactly what Stephanie needed to take advantage and save that bogey. Still see the flag over there.
It is moving over there in the distance.
We're just tucked up, protected by this tree line. Incredible par for Ohn. Again, feels like a birdie on this hole. Sandi and I are going to be tapping in some bogeys.
Let's be honest, it's a challenging day here on day number 3 of this 5-day event. at the 2024 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championship. Ohn Scoggins opening up more of a lead with 9 holes to go to see if anybody can tighten things back up. The back 9 coming your way from Swope Park. Stay tuned for continuing coverage from the PDGA.